Hey, you're promoted. Me? Do you have a job description or something? Yeah, I guess so. How's this? Construction leader. Deal with everybody's headaches. Contractors, subcontractors, vendors, office people, inspectors, and anybody else that shows up on the job site. Lead a crew of people and serve them as a therapist, motivator, coach, mentor, and drinking buddy. Make thousands of small decisions every single day, but if you make the wrong one, you're probably fired like the last guy. Promote safety as much as possible, because if somebody gets hurt on your watch, you could face some prison time. So, are you in? No. Perfect, because you start on Monday. This is a classic case of how a promotion is handled in the construction industry, a lot like how my story went. I'd like to start today by asking a few simple questions. Do you find it annoying when every construction project seems to be overdue, over budget, and of subpar quality? Does it alarm you that somebody like me, with no education past my carpentry license, could manage tens of millions of dollars worth of equipment, materials, and workforce over my career? If you looked at my personal finances, you'd be very alarmed. I'd like to take you guys on a journey with me today. It's a journey to a different construction world. It's a place where projects are delivered on time, on budget. It's a place with lower taxes. It's a place where our communities can depend on their transportation systems. It's a place where we can rise together. Labor omnia vincit is a Latin phrase that us carpenters use for labor conquers all. And that's the truth in our industry. Labor does conquer all. Bolt by bolt, brick by brick, and beam by beam, this country continues to get built, but not as effectively or productively as it could be. What if we are treated as labor before all? What if people like me are treated as a means to an end? This negativity and this mindset is leading our industry to a slow demise. According to Stats Canada and TEDxMechanicsville, construction industry is one of the few industries that gets less productive, yes, year over year. We as an industry struggle to retain top-tier talent for an array of reasons. But one of the biggest reasons is that when people enter the industry, they realize that their voice isn't heard, that their opinion doesn't matter, and that their hard-earned money could be earned somewhere else. Let's just take 1 second to look around at this building. Think about that sushi place down the road. Even the dentist office was built by people like me. But by and large, the industry hasn't changed much in 100 years. But if we look around at our culture and a society, it's changed drastically in the last 100 years. We need to take steps today to ensure that our workforce and our blue-collar workers are educated and supported for the next 100 years. The simple proposition I have today will help us reduce some of the things we talked about earlier, lower our taxes, increase profits, increase productivity. I'd like to introduce a simple framework to try and counteract this. Today I'd like to introduce a framework called RISE that I came up with. It stands for respect, invest, support, and educate. I'm going to cover it twice. One time with my personal experiences and that of my colleagues that grew up in the industry. And the second time, we're going to try and attack it at a different way. One that will propel our industry to new heights. Respect. I was 19 or 20 at the time, and I was working for a roofing contractor. As I climbed the ladder that morning, my boss, he calls out to me and he says, "Hey kid, you're fired before you hit the ground." Or another time, I came off on a 70-hour work week, and I noticed that my boss had shortchanged my check, a different boss. And I found out it was because he bought me lunch that week. That was the worst roast beef sandwich I've ever had. Invest. Investing in us isn't mandatory. It's not even necessary. A lot of the investment I might have received in my career was pleaded for, was begged for. A few things that are told to guys like me and my colleagues are things like, you aren't paid to think. You're paid from the neck down, bud. Get back to work. Support. Or lack of support, maybe. Our industry has a massively utilitarian mindset. Use stuff till it breaks, rather than maintain it for its longevity. This is fine with our material and our equipment, but when it leaches over into our workforce, it's bad. It causes a lot of our mental well-being to suffer. A lot of us drink because of this or self-medicate in other ways. Our bodies continue to get broken and our spirits continue to get misused. Educate. When the only education we receive at work is often safety related, it's kind of demotivating. If we're treated like children, it's demoralizing. A lot of the education can look like actually a transfer of liability from the companies to the workers. That's covered up by due diligence and plausible deniability. A career highlight for me, though, was getting sent down to here. This is the Carpenters Training Center in Las Vegas. Before I arrived there, I had to take personality tests, not for my multiple personalities, but for the personalities that I'd be working with. Everybody that arrived took multiple personality tests, and we spent the next 3 days deep diving each and everybody's personality. Not proving who's better or who's best, but proving how we can all work together to do something special. This training proves that with investment and support into our blue-collar workers, it can have a direct impact on our day-to-day job sites for productivity, efficiency, and profits. Now, I know what you're saying. Devon, that sounds expensive. Sounds like money we might have to charge our clients or take away from our profits. And you're right. It is expensive. But it costs more money to do nothing. If you get called back to a job for rework, for redoing the job because it was incorrect in the first place, it can cost up to 10 times the original quoted price. But Devon, what if we respect, invest, support, and educate our workforce, and they go work for the other contractor down the road? I'm sorry, but if that's the point you're getting out of this, you've missed the point. This isn't really about you. This isn't about me. This isn't about your company or what I think is best. This is about our industry moving forward, preparing for what's next, for the next few decades and the next 100 years in construction. According to BuildForce, construction has grown by 80% since 2002, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. Last year alone, construction in Canada equaled $368 billion, and by 2028, will reach $445 billion. We need to commit today to preparing our employers and our employees for this huge opportunity and responsibility to serve this country in the way we know how, building things and getting things done. Instead of asking ourselves questions like, how can I decrease my accountability and increase my profits? Why don't we ask different questions like, who can I invest in today that's going to have maximum impact tomorrow? A quick Google search will get you this number, $22.9 billion. That's the 4 largest contractors in Canada and their revenue in 2022. There's a bit of money in there to give back to our blue-collar workforce. If people are our biggest asset, how come they've kind of slid to become our littlest investment? Rise. Looking towards the future, rising together will be a challenge. It takes time to build trust with each person. But trust translates into engagement, and engagement takes us to productivity and profitability. In such a hyper-individualistic society, Rise will look different for everybody. Individual growth plans for each person will set the good companies apart from the great companies. Let's look at Rise one more time, but this time from a different lens, one that will get us to the next level. Respect. We're kind of like athletes. Every day, we're paid to perform. We're paid to do. It benefits us, our contractors, and our taxpayers that we're all working at our best. Respect can look like as simple as treating somebody's idea seriously, taking their suggestions and putting it into action. Invest. We're ready to commit our career and our life to building these buildings and building your company. Are you all in on us? As the great Stephen Covey once said, win-win or no deal. Support. Supporting people isn't boring. It's not a waste of time. It's extremely rewarding to see people come from where they were and turn them into the best that they could have imagined themselves. It benefits them, their families, and their local communities as a whole. Educate. Some people are like me. They like self-development, self-leadership kind of stuff. Other people don't, and that's fine. Some people want to be the best plumber in the area or the most reliable bricklayer in the region. Some people might want help learning about their finances a little bit better. Some people want to work on their soft skills or how to have that tough conversation with a coworker. Education is extremely personal and individual, and it should be treated that way. Rising up to this challenge is going to take a commitment from everybody. I want to speak directly to my brothers and sisters in the industry for a second. If we want more, if we want better, if we think we're worth it, it's on us too. We need to perform our best. With the rights we're asking for today come big responsibilities. And then to everybody in this room and watching today, it's up to us. We're all leaders here. We're not going to be better together, we're going to be our best together. As leaders, we should have roles of service, not of status. And we came here today to not just make a point, but to go out and make a difference. So let's go out and make a difference. You're promoted. Let's meet Monday morning and discuss how you can become the job site leader we know you to be. Respect, invest, support, educate. Thank you.